With the recent patch dropping and a new item that is completely taking over the meta, it's time for something we haven't done before. It's a predicted high elo tier list just to give you an idea of what we believe is the best right now. But before we hop into that, let's talk about our question of the day. What do you think of Urgot? Let me know in the comments below. For our first pick in the Baron lane, we have Darius. Yes, you've heard it right, Mr. Darius is back in the meta. Darius is a champion that loves to fight those tanky demons and just stack up, and with the bonus armor penetration from his third ability in combination with Black Cleaver, things get really nasty for the opposition. The only thing he kinda struggles with are very potent laners such as a Fiora, but obviously you want to have that champion banned, otherwise life is gonna be miserable very fast. So Darius, among other true damage dealers in the Baron lane, is one of the new meta champions because they will deal with all those super tanky Twin Guard abusers super well, while also being able to abuse Twin Guard to its full potency. But what makes Darius such a good pick now, and why he is now where he is? Okay, Darius usually struggled with reaching people and then applying the damage he has without dying beforehand. With Twin Guard in the meta now and more people building Twin Guard and more people playing Bruiser-like champions or tanky champions, things or fights will take longer. This will grant Darius an opportunity to stack up to 5 stacks and then immediately decimate anything in his way. Even if an AD carry that goes Twin Guard it's himself now fights a Darius in the later stages of the game, if the Darius was allowed to pre-stack on a Bruiser champion, which is now significantly more likely thanks to Twin Guard, he can theoretically flash into the enemy team with a pre-casted first ability, and if the AD carry is caught by the edge of Darius's blade, then the AD carry will get one-shot, because true damage does not care about resistances. But generally speaking, Darius is a menace and you can not really kill him because he's getting too tanky. And this is our full tier list for the Baron lane. The next big winner in this meta is Gwen. And many people say Gwen jungle is not good anymore, but that is not true. Gwen jungle is a really good pick in general. She's allowed to freely farm through the jungle and even has a decent clear. It's not the worst and not the best at the same time, but given that Gwen is a hyperscaling champion that will take over the game the moment she hits Riftmaker, Nash's Tooth and Twin Guards, it's absolutely worth it if you want to go for this investment. And here's a real big information about this one. You want to start with your first ability and not with your third ability. You're always faster with your first ability. Don't forget that. And similar to other clearing champions, you don't want to put a point into your second ability because it doesn't grant you clearing damage, so you want to allocate another point into your first ability while clearing on level 3. That makes it substantially easier to get through your jungle and get to your item points faster because you have more gold income. Especially nice is the fact that Gwen is able to pre-proc Amaranth Twin Guard with the start of the ultimate ability. That way she can get herself into combat and then pre-proc it when she wants it and then go in once it's charged. That way, in combination with her second ability, because these stats are also increased, she becomes absolutely unstoppable in terms of tankiness. And if you want to add more HP items later on, you can certainly do so, but you can also just add more flat AP with the Rabadon Staff Cap and just hunt down anything in your way. And this is our full tier list for the jungler role. The next champion on this list is going to be Corki for the mid lane, because he is the biggest winner of this patch. Not only is he able to dish out damage from the early to mid game to late game, no, he's also able to fully utilize the benefits of Amaranth Twin Guard while also having an item that allows him to deal true damage to the enemy champions in the form of a Riftmaker. So Corki doesn't only have sustain, he has AoE wave clear, AoE damage, true damage, everything he wants to have in terms of objective presence with the package, and he's just able to peel for himself without any problem and gets absolutely tanky and is not even forced to go in, plus is able to pre-proc the Amaranth Twin Guard on demand with his rocket or other AoE abilities. So how exactly do you take care of Corki now? You really don't. This champion has gotten way too strong with the meta shift, and he will be the pick for the mid lane and the AD carry role in this patch. There's just nothing that beats him, and he just gets away completely scot-free without any punishment. But let's talk about his mid lane preference or mid lane presence. Due to his way of dealing with minion waves, Corki is able to play the lane absolutely non-interactive, and even if the matchup is a little bit worse for him, he can deal with it quite gallantly. There is not much that can kill him unless he wants to die. And with the meta shift toward more bruiser champions, assassins are less likely to occur because assassins won't be able to kill those tanks. And therefore we'll probably see them disappear for quite some time, or they get some cooked up crazy builds where they become tanks themselves. But with those out of the game and mid lane becoming a wave clear and just rotational kind of playstyle rather, we can actually see Corki absolutely flourishing because he has wave control, he has lane control, and he has infinite scaling. And this is our full tier list for the mid lane. Yes, I know, we just talked about Corki in the mid lane, but now we're going to talk about Corki in the dragon lane. Corki is yet again, as I said before, absolutely able to lane without any problem. And especially if you think about supports being kind of the villains sometimes, that do very interesting things, you are perfectly able of clearing the wave without interacting with the enemy at all, and then just scaling for free. Not only that, with the movement ability you have on the second ability, you're able to chase down kills if required, and you also have quite a nice thing that many people just completely forget about. The magic and physical penetration on your third ability. Once this is fully skilled, this is actually quite funny, you gain up to like 25 pen, magic pen, and physical pen. And if you think about that, the typical squishy champion will not have more than 40 magic resist unless they bought something for magic resist, you shred more than 50% of their armor and magic resist, and therefore your damage will skyrocket and your allies' damage will also skyrocket. So Corki doesn't only reduce the resistances for himself, but also for his allies, which allows him to deal absolute insane amounts of damage. Another tricky thing many people forget about is that typically AD carries might be a little bit late for rotational plays on the map when the first objective spawns, but Corki is kinda different. He has his package in his base which allows him to get a boost in movement speed while running to a play. And then he can engage or zone off enemies with that package and just control the fight with his AoE abilities. The enemies cannot really step through this line of fire because they'll be slowed into oblivion, and Corki has free shots on all of them. And this is our full tier list for the dragon lane. Last but not least on this list we have Seraphine. Seraphine just got a hotfix for his second ability and now the shield stacks. So if you cast your second ability when it's empowered, you get a juicy shield. And it also scales with the protect enchant, but sadly the healing, if you proc it for the shield, doesn't get affected by the protect enchant, but the shielding goes up to 1k plus in the middle or the late stages of the game, which makes the enemy kind of, it puts them in quite a pickle. And compared to a luck support in the past, you don't have the problem that your allies dodge your shielding because it's a huge circle around you. And with assassins going out of the meta and people being like kind of pigeonholed into buying specific items, Serpent's Fang becomes a less likely bought item. Unless it's like a solo queue environment, and even then people still die very fast. And the shielding, that's the real funny part. With the right build, which we'll tackle in a later video, is going to be on a 4 to 5 second cooldown where it's empowered. So you can spam the healing and spam the shielding and nothing will happen to you or your allies and you will constantly heal them. I just recently had a game where I shielded like 1500 damage per minute, also healing like 700 to 800 a minute. This was beyond crazy, and it wasn't even played to perfect, like pixel perfectly, it was just a normal gameplay in Grandmaster to Challenger ELO. Like, this is absolutely crazy. This bug fix single-handedly put Seraphine into the top levels of support. And this is our full tier list for the support role. And that's it for today's video. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel and come back tomorrow for more Rift Guides content. See you soon.